You are well, and see if this works better today than it did yesterday. Hopefully the audio is good. You can hear me okay, you can see me okay, and the chat hopefully below should be working. I think I've improved everything, so we should be good. We should be live. And yeah, hi everyone. Welcome, welcome. Nice. Yep, that's working. I can see it now. That's good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get going. If you're on X, welcome, welcome, welcome. I can see the chat. Twitch and YouTube. All right, we're going to do 30 minutes today. I know we said yesterday we were going to do 30 minutes, and we did 2 hours. I apologise for that, or 2.5 hours. Today we're going to keep it to 30 minutes, all right? Just to respect your time. So let's just have a quick look at Bitcoin, what's happened over the course since we spoke yesterday. So for those of you that are curious, it's the 12th today. I can't believe it's the 12th already. 12th of March. All right, so let's have a look at what happened then. So we saw there was a bit of a pump up yesterday. We broke out, we knew about that. We've kind of consolidated and gone sideways, which we thought was going to happen. It kind of makes sense. Hey, Applefed, how you doing? Good to see you, buddy. So we've kind of consolidated within this range at the moment, and we're ready for a push up. It looks like we can still head towards 76,000. I was looking at what happened in the markets yesterday. Michael Saylor said he was going to buy some more. He's got an incredible system in place at the moment where he's able to leverage fiat currency to be able to buy more Bitcoin with it and do it in a way that really does minimize his downside. He doesn't have to pay it back early, he can't get liquidated. There's a lot of really good upside to what Michael Saylor's doing at the moment with his Bitcoin and his company, and it's incredible to watch. And so a lot of this purchasing power is definitely where he's buying up a lot of this. And so we're seeing at the moment, there's been a little bit of chopping around, not really much in the market when we look at Bitcoin. It's currently been around like 2.5% chop, and we're starting to see, it doesn't really look red today, but there's not really a lot of movement. There's a little bit up and down, a few percent here and there, but overall, everything's sitting pretty solid at the moment. Don, not a lot of liquidity in Don at the moment. There was a huge pump, massive pump yesterday. The first one we saw pushed it up by 100%, then we saw another one which pushed it another 200%, but it did come crashing straight back down again. So I'm not too sure at the moment whether this is buyers and sellers or just maybe like MEV bots. Could just be bot opportunity, like sucking out liquidity from the project. But it does look like it's getting some incredible volatility at the moment, and this token almost recovering 1 cent. I mean, if this holds 1 cent, and it 10x's, then we're in a good place with this token. And I really think this could 100x from here, and I'm hoping it can. I really hope it can. It's got a long way to go. It's got a lot of work to do. But if we do see a DeFi yield farming cycle, I do have a big holding of this, and I'd love to see that come good. And maybe it will. We'll see. But if we look at Don, we look at Cake. Form's pretty much dead at the moment, so there's not really a lot happening there. Aqua's another one, but I'm having some trouble bringing some of the tokens into trading view. So one of the things I want to start doing now is moving things over to Dex Screener. So I've been starting to look at Dex Screener as a way to move things across, but this is also not ideal at the moment. So let me just see if I can do this. 1 second. All right, there we go. So I've started to move across some of these watch lists, and I've started to, not their alerts, I haven't done anything there yet. Yeah, so these are kind of games that I've been watching. This is I say trash, it was meme coins. This was funny yesterday. Hey Lauren Soul, how you doing? Noobs had my interest in the Cypher challenge, and now touching on crypto as an objective level with clear communications. I second that. I appreciate you. And the Genopets was amazing. I love doing that. I took a good old look at CRO last night and their credit cards. I thought I got my credit card today. I was so excited. I had in the post, I had this, which was just a card, and I opened it up and I was like, I've got a credit card, but alas, it was not. It was Monzo, which is okay. Monzo's good. I've got my new Monzo card, but it was not. I'm still waiting there. I'm shipping out my new crypto.com card. But what I did do today is I changed my billing details for my Netflix account and my Spotify account. And so one of the things that they do is if you have a crypto.com card and you pay for the, I don't know which version it is. I need to quickly just check. I'll look on my phone. But I think it's the £3,000. I think it depends on what country you're in with crypto.com. So if you're in If you're in US, I think you have to put $3,000. If you're in Europe, I think you have to do 3,000 euros. If you're in the UK, I have to do £3,000. So if I go to my card, I look at my card, I can actually click on upgrade to see upgrade card, and it tells you all of the different options that you've got kind of available to you. So I did this yesterday. Like the top package is like 300,000, and you kind of get all of this. So if you lock up, you don't have to pay for it. You just have to stake it. So if you're staking 300,000, you kind of get all of these perks that you can kind of just see here. So this is I mean, it's nice to have, but you kind of don't need it. Then the most popular one that they offer, is the 3,000. This is the most popular one. It's like 3,000 of CRO, and it says you get rebate for 6 months on Netflix and Spotify. So they've changed it now. It's only 6 months. But you get some spending rewards, you get airport lounge, and you get 4% in staking rewards as well. So the only way you can go up to that is if you go up to the £30,000 a month option, and then you get Netflix, Spotify, Amazon Prime, Expedia, 10% on Expedia, airport lounge, and some additional bonuses as well as Crypto.com private, which is nice. You get some OTT gills and things in there. Hey, by the way, Rooks, how you doing? Amini, how you doing? I need to reach out to you on Twitch. I'll do that. I need to sort that thing out with you. I'll do that. So yeah, Crypto.com, I'm very much a believer in that. This, I choose Rich every time. I did buy into this. So there was two. There was Nick and there was Rich. Rich was what the community created. I did buy into this. It's, oh my God. Oh dear. Oh dear. Rich is having some fun at the moment. So, I mean, it's up. Well, do you know what? There's my lesson for selling. There's my lesson for selling. If I'd had kept hold of this, I would be up right now 10x. So, oh well, I missed out on that. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. You can see where I bought this. This blue line is actually where I bought this, but I sold everything. I'm out the market. I don't have this anymore. But you can see this absolutely going mental at the moment. This choose Rich, which is the narrative at the moment. If you were to have bought this token, 2 hours ago, if you were to have bought this meme coin just 2 hours ago, you would currently be up 10x. And there's 300 grand liquidity, so you could have put like 50 soul on this and you'd have 500 soul right now. That's just hilarious. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love this. I love the... If someone come to me and said, hey, like, I haven't got much money, what should I do? I'd honestly right now just be like, just go and punt it on a meme coin. Just like, there is nothing in the world that is going to make you the money that you can make on things like this. There's just not. It's ridiculous. So are we bullish on CRO this run? I mean, I was bullish on CRO last run. Very bullish. And I told everyone to jump into CRO in the last run, and it 10x'd. And so everyone that put in the $3,000 on that credit card, every single person took 30 grand out. So I'm expecting to do the same thing this time, but this time I put 300 grand in. So I'm expecting to take 3 mil out. That's just what I'm hoping for, right? That's my goal. So we'll see. We'll see. But I believe so. I think it's very well positioned. I think I made a good case for it yesterday. So anyway, that's quite fun, that token. And then there is another one as well, which is Nick, which is also doing crazy stuff. But I sold this. That's not the right token. So you've got to be careful. There's some trash. That's not the right token. That's a trash token. All right, you've got to be careful. You've got to make sure you don't buy the right one. That's another one here. This is the right one. But this one up as well, I mean, just... Oh dear. If you're going to get into meme coins, the best way to find a meme coin is you have to start on Twitter. You have to start on Twitter. If you're going to find a meme coin, you don't find it on Dex Screener. You don't find it on Bird's Eye. You find it on Twitter. You have to see the narrative. You have to know like, if you look on Twitter at the moment, it's just everything is like this. Rich Nick this guy. This is not him, actually. This Rich Nick Soul, this is not him. It's all Nick. This is the guy you want, all Nick. So Nick, NFT Nick.eth. This is the guy. He is the one who is doing... he's just transcended Twitter at the moment. It's hilarious, and he's in a war with community notes. Whether he's doing this himself or what, I don't know how it's playing out, but it's just perfect. It's such a beautiful meme. An entire crypto space is behind him. Even Beeple tweeted him. Everyone started tweeting him. There's, you've got people like Alex Becker. You've got Crypto Banter. All of the degenerates are tweeting around Nick, and this guy is just absolutely everywhere at the moment, and he's putting videos out and he's keeping it going. And so there's two different tokens. There's Nick, which is the Nick token itself, which is Nick. You can tell this one because it's got 1.1 million in liquidity, all right, and a 55 million. I can't. I fucking can't. Not today. I can't. Oh, I'm done. $55 million market cap. I have tears in my eyes. It's fucking hilarious. I just, nowhere in the world. Like, this is so... The people that hate this just don't understand it. It's as simple as that. Yes, it is trash. Yes, it is cringy. Yes, it is worthless. But oh my god, is it fun? It's for the culture, and if you understand it, if you're part of it, if you're enjoying it, it's... Forget the profits. Honestly, just forget the profits. I put $250 into a meme coin. I turned it into $1,000. I was very lucky. They could have all gone to zero. Luckily, Nancy Palooza popped off and another one as well. I can't even remember what I bought now. It was complete trash. But I turned that into $1,000. I took the $1,000. I put it onto L. Remember the wormhole? I made some money on that. I 10x'd on that. So I turned that $1,000 into $10,000. And then I took that $10,000 and I split $5,000 onto Nick and $5,000 onto Rich. And I made $50,000 and I cashed out. And I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to keep playing this game. Had I have stayed in, I'd have made a lot more. I would have made a lot more. I could have made $100,000. I could have made possibly more on this. But then the problem with this is, even if I did that, so let's look at this Nick token, for example, right? And I've taken everything out of the account now, but let's just imagine I had this Nick token. I don't know what it would be, like 100 million tokens, surely, right? I mean, it's I want to see what the impact. So the price impact would be 40% there. So if I had 1 million of these tokens, that would be $50,000. I'm 5%'s not that bad. That's not too bad, to be honest. I'm losing a few thousand, but at this stage you don't care. So yeah, I mean, anyway, it is what it is. I don't care that I got out early. I really don't care. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I took some profits, and I will never ever feel bad about taking profits. I will never feel bad about taking profits. So I've started to move this stuff around to have a look on here. I'm not too keen on Dex Screener. Like, I use it, but there's just some stuff that I can't pick up, unfortunately, on TradingView. So I'm looking at Honeyland at the moment. I'm still keen on Honeyland. I like what's going on here. The problem with Honeyland at the moment is I want it to pop off before CRO. I really want Honeyland to pop off before CRO. Same with Genopets. I want Genopets to pop off and Honeyland before CRO so that I can filter some of the profits into CRO. And then I can ride CRO up. But I think CRO might pop off first. So I need to see that. And then networks. I need to move some stuff about. But here we go. We can see what's happening here. So AVAX. Yeah, AVAX looking alright at the moment. AVAX actually... Oh, wow. $53 on AVAX. Is that right? Has AVAX really pushed? I must have missed that. That's crept up. I didn't even notice it. Let me have a quick look on here. Yeah. Yeah, AVAX is having a little pump at the moment. Okay, AVAX looking very nice. Wow. Okay. Steve, may I know, they already draw how to trade that again without transaction. Sorry, hold on. Let me read up, catch up with this. I started with £30 in Mingas on Pole and have raised that about 100x. Through the following trends with a rule of no investment from pockets. Hindsight's 2020. I could have invested in Sol and Bitcoin, but differentiating with energy. Yeah, yeah. And I think this is the thing, right? Meme coins is a great way to have some fun, but it's also a great way to lose some money. The house always wins, and eventually you're always going to get wrecked with meme coins, so I wouldn't recommend playing with them. It's a means to an end. It was a bit of fun, and if you're starting out and you... Look, here's the thing. When you first start out, this is just reality. When you first start out, if you have nothing, right, let's just say that your bank balance is 0. Getting some money in that account is hard. And that grind, that initial grind of getting some money takes forever. Like going from 0 to £1 to £2 to £10 to £100, that takes such a long time. And then you can start, and that's why whenever you see these curves, like if ever you see a growth, a solid, like, because there's 2 types of growth curves, right? This has just become my drawing board, sorry. All right, there's two types of growth curves. You've got the first type of growth curve, which looks like this. This is volatile, and it's not reliable, and it's scary. The second type looks like this. This is growth. This is what growth looks like. This is just the reality of what growth looks like. And so, if you're here right now, if this is you, this is my little person, you've got a long way to go. So getting from here, step 1, to here, in the quickest possible time is as advantageous. It's the most important thing because you don't want to waste time. So I would say that the step between 1 and 2 is meme coins. It is. Like, there's no better and easier way to dump in, you know, a couple of dollars here and there and hope that one of them pops off and you can cash out and make some money and get yourself a better start. The problem is when you spend too long here, or if you get too exposed here, you can end up going to step 2 and then you can end up going back to step 1 and you could end up caught in a cycle. So you have to be careful here that you don't get caught in this cycle. The key, and this is really the key, is to be able to use the meme coins to take you from step 1 to step 2, but then cut all ties. You're done. Okay, thank you very much. I had some fun. I enjoyed it. I made some money. I'm out. And then don't go back, because it's so tempting whenever you're like, oh, well, if I lose this, I can just go back here again. But you don't want to get caught in this cycle. So getting out of the meme coins so that you play with them for fun, but you want to get here as soon as possible, because from A to B is nothing more than just capital acquisition, right? You are just trying to grab as much liquidity, as much cash as possible. Once you've done that and you've got some cash, whatever that means to you, everyone's going to be different, right? For some people, this is going to be $100. For some people, it will be $1,000. Some people 10,000. Some people 100,000. Regardless of what this number is, this number is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. But you need some starting capital, all right? And if you invest in your starting capital correctly here, then you're going to have this. And so what I'm trying to do now is I didn't do the meme coin route, but I'm using, like, from here to here, I'm using Web3 Games. I can't really write on this, it's terrible, but Web3 Games. So the idea here is that I use my Web3 Games to be able to go into either blue chip, yeah, or top tier altcoins, and then up here into Bitcoin, BTC. That's really bad, I'm sorry. Trying to draw with this, but that's the goal. And so right now, when I look at where I am and where I'm positioned right now, we can look at the portfolio. You can see where we currently sit. I mean, over the last 30 days, I mean, this dumped down. It was not doing that well just a few days ago. So we're only talking about from the 22nd of February. Yeah, we're only talking about 3 weeks. three weeks at best. This has started to climb, and it's been a gradual climb, and we're getting back up. We're almost at the 7-figure point. So my question now for myself is really, can I 10x this in this cycle? Is it possible to 10x in this cycle? Now, I'm not greedy. I don't want to 10x. I'm not going to be taking risks to 10x. I'm very, very happy with a 5x. If I can 5x my portfolio from here, then I'm good. I'm happy. If I can 10x it, amazing. That would be incredible. But I don't know. We have to wait and see, right? Because unfortunately, when you start playing with bigger numbers, you don't have the opportunity. Like, I can't just go and put 100 grand into a shitcoin because the liquidity, I'll just get destroyed. And obviously, bots are definitely the biggest players in the market at the moment. So that's another thing to consider. If you go over to Dex Screener and we look at some of these trash coins and we look at something like, let's just, I guess, look at Nick, for example, right? Let's look at the top traders of this token. This probably isn't the best one to use. Let's go for, I don't know, let's try something like Peng, just as an example. I want to see top trader. Yeah, here we go. Right, let's take this one. Right, let's look on chain. So let's look at this account on chain, right? Which, by the way, this account on this token alone, 1.4 million profit. 45 million 344 transactions, 43.5 million, which is $1.4 million. What is this? Oh, it's a system program. Okay, right. All right, I think this is maybe a protocol as opposed to a wallet itself. We need to have a look. But my point is, I've seen bots, and I need to do some more research in this, but I've seen bots, and some of the bots that are doing transactions on here, what it's bought and sold, even this, look, profit and loss. This one is bought and sold, you can see here, and it's made profit and loss of 300,000. And this is over the last, I believe, 30 days. But my point is that there are bots out there that are just absolutely cleaning up at the moment. So you need to find them and do some research. I'm not going to go into it already, but basically there's a lot of bots. And I noticed this because when I set my token up, I don't actually know where my token is. So, oh, here it is. So this was a token that I set up as kind of a just a test. You know, I was just playing about to see what it was like to set up a meme coin. That I was just curious. So if I look at my token, I mean, it's worthless. I haven't talked about it. No one knows about it. It doesn't exist. I should be able to search for it though, right? So maybe if I do that, does that work? Yeah, so look, there's not much liquidity. I mean, I burnt the liquidity, so I locked it. And so you can see that I burnt my liquidity, so that's locked in there now. But you can actually see at the moment, if we look at, there's no transactions right now, but look at all of these transactions that were happening a few days ago. There was like $10,000 worth of transactions that happened. There's nothing in the last 24 hours. Nothing's happening on it. But these are all bots. Look at all these bots. Even that one, look, these bots. So if I filter this, I'm not going to do it, but if I was to filter this and have a look, you can see some of these bots, they were chucking like 3-4 grand. That's what these pumps were just bots trading this token. And I was really fascinated to see how this worked and how it happened. And yeah, all right, I wasted a few $100s on doing this, but I was very interested just to be able to do it to see how it worked and what happened. And just to see all of these bots trading like so quickly like this. You know, some of them just doing like $40, $20 here and there. Some of them like just doing like little micro transactions. But imagine this on a bigger scale, right? This happens all the time. So when you're looking at these tokens, the majority of this, you're just fighting with bots. All of this is just bots taking profit. And if you look at this, you can see the traders, you know, the people that are making money. I mean, some people here have made like, I mean, I'm on here somewhere. I might not, am I? Yeah, I'm going to be on here somewhere. But anyway, regardless. There's people making money, but there's a lot of bots making money as well. So you've got to be careful. So don't spend too much time in meme coins. All right, so coming out of that, getting away from all of the trash, I'm still very much believing in CRO. Yes, I'm still in Honeyland. Star Atlas, I I guess I wish I had a bit more Star Atlas. I don't have that much of it, but it is it's doing all right at the moment. This is not USDC, by the way. This says it's USDC. It's not. It's actually Boom from Boomland. I just there isn't a ticker for it at the moment, so it's just kind of sitting there. It says it's in USDC. Donkey, as you can see, got quite a lot of Donkey. Now, this was a bad trade. This is where I made a mistake. See, for Donkey, I actually put I put $100,000 into Donkey, and that $100,000 today is worth $5,000. So this was a bad investment, really bad investment. I was investing at like 15 cents. I'd love for it to break even. Who knows? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It needs to 10x from where it is. I haven't really got... I want some more Vulcan Forge. I don't have enough. I sold a lot of my render. Don't have much of that anymore. Still got some Sunflower Land. Still got some... I got some Beam I picked up. Got some Polis, not much. Got some Synesis 1, not much. Sold most of my Matic. Don't have any Ethereum anymore. And I've sold out of most stuff. So what I'm going to do now, like the concept for me right now is I'm going to start to exit most of these positions. So I'm going to start closing down, like, you know, I've got like a couple of grand in Cardano. I've got some money in Quant. I don't have enough Quant. I definitely don't have enough Quant. I'm not married to these tokens. I don't care. I'm not sitting here thinking I'm just going to hold Quant forever. There's no emotion in this. I want the networks and the technology to survive, and I'm very interested in it. But let's be very real right now. I'm placing a bet that these prices are going to go up, but I still need to cash out. And at the moment, all of this is just potential profit. It's not realized until I cash it out. And also I have to consider the tax implications of doing so. Now, the goal for me at the moment is to liquidate as much of this as possible into 1 or 2 tokens. However, in doing that, there is a risk, because if anything goes wrong with one of those tokens, like let's say, imagine this, right? Imagine I liquidate all of these tokens into CRO, right? So I'm just literally holding CRO and nothing else, right? And then let's imagine CRO does an FTX. I'm screwed. I'm screwed. I lose like everything. So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, but at the same time, you don't want to be so diversified that it's hard to track. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing this cycle is I'm actually going to be liquidating a lot of my NFTs. I'm going to be looking to exit, because the reality is I simply don't have the time to play games. And if I was to rent out my assets, it takes so much work, and you're fighting and competing. I don't want to fight with YGG and Merit Circle, and I don't want to fight with these guilds trying to rent out my assets to a player base. I just don't care. I would rather buy and sell a token, because I have no one to answer to. The problem with holding NFTs is, one, you're hoping that the value of the NFT remains or goes up. And 2, you have to put in so much time and so much effort to be able to generate yield on those NFTs. I just don't. It's no. I tried it last cycle. You know, I've still got the guild. I've still got all the assets and everything. I haven't sold anything, but I'm going to be looking to sell off. Now, I am actually considering right now, I'm just telling you this, I'm being completely honest, I'm considering selling off my Sunflower Land. But I tell you right now, it's very unlikely that I sell that. So my Sunflower Land farm, I would not accept anything less right now. I would not accept anything less right now. Before it was 50 ETH. I wouldn't have accepted less than 50 ETH. I think right now I wouldn't accept less than probably 25 ETH. I wouldn't accept less than 25 ETH for my Sunflower Land farm. Like minimum. It'd have to, which is given the price of ETH at the moment, but yeah. So I don't know if that will sell. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I mean, I've got farm number 4 with every NFT on it, so there's definitely some value there. But yeah, that's one of the things I'm looking to do, is to obviously I've got my Axie as well. I'm going to look at what I can do with Axie and probably remove some of those. I've also got stuff that I bought a long time ago. I've got stuff in Legends of Venari. I've got Star Atlas. I've got all my ships in Star Atlas. You know, I'm looking at the games that I'm likely to play. And the reality is there's so many games, I'm just not going to be playing most of them. I'm just not. There's just too many games. And so I need to be realistic. Big time. I'm probably going to offset a lot of my assets from big time as well. I've got rid of most. I don't have a lot left there, but as soon as the set bonuses kick in and space becomes worthy, once we get this massive bull run and we're like what we're seeing with meme coins right now, that's going to transition. Meme coins are going to die out, and people are going to move. And people with wealth that have made money in meme coins, they're going to move them. Where are they going to move them to? Well, degenerate gamblers like to gamble. Hey, by the way, hope you're good. So degenerate gamblers like to gamble regardless, right? They're always going to gamble. And so when you think about where do they go after the meme coins, typically gaming. People that are playing with the meme coins at the moment are typically going to be playing games. And so if the itch is there, if they need to scratch the itch, if they're going to come away from meme coins because they're not as profitable anymore, where do they go? Possibly and probably loot boxes. Loot boxes are my assumption. That's where I believe people are going to move to. Loot boxes. So we're going to see people move from meme coins to loot boxes. Now, I might be wrong, but that's just my belief. So I am stocking up on loot boxes, and I'm holding on to them. And I'm going to play a few games. I'm going to play BR1 because it looks like fun and I'm enjoying it. I'm going to play Block Lords because I'm enjoying it. And I'm going to probably play Star Atlas because I enjoy it and it looks quite cool. So I'll probably keep the assets in those games, and then everything else I'll look to offset and try and just make as much money back as possible. And then start to just disassociate with the NFTs because they're just so time consuming. Alright, let me answer some of these questions. Hopefully that makes sense. I take 10% every time I think of taking profits. I think it's so important. You have to take profits. Steve, may I know, they already withdraw how they trade again. Oh, sorry, King, let me just read this. May I know, they already withdraw how they trade that again without transactions. If I need to make transactions to organise a balance to my own personal account, get transcript. I'm not sure I understand the question. Could you rephrase it? I'm just not sure I understand. Sorry, King, but I'll try my best to answer you. Himule looks like a potential meme. There's so many potential memes at the moment. There's so many out there. And the thing is, you need to find the memes that are picking up traction on Twitter first and foremost. And if you're going to get into a meme to make decent money on it, you need to get into that meme in the first 30 to 60 minutes of it launching. I would say after an hour, you're probably too late. And it's difficult to know. It's so difficult to know whether you're doing the right thing or not. It's challenging. And so my goal is not to play in meme coins. My goal is just to show people that it's possible and to consider some of the downfalls. I'm going to release a video. I'm trying to get it out. It's taking some time, but I want to get a video out on YouTube talking about meme coins whilst it's a hot topic. So then from meme coins going into tokens. So I'm out of Ethereum. I've got like 1 ETH, I think, and it's split amongst a few wallets just for gas. You know, I've got like 0.2 here, 0.3 there. Like it's just gas. I'm not in Ethereum. I've lost faith in. I posted yesterday and I said, I need 6 ETH for that unique. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've made a commitment. I've said that I'll buy. I've said that I'm going to buy a 6 ETH NFT, and I will. I'll buy it. I wanted to actually. I actually would have bought one. There's one for sale at the moment, and I will actually buy this. Let me see if I can find it. I'll grab it up quickly. So just give me a sec. Let me head across here to OpenSea. Here it is. So I've said to a community, and I stand by my word. You'll know if you followed me for long enough. You know that I do this. I actually would buy this right now. I will buy this if, and so here's my agreement. I said that within a week, if Bitcoin does not hit 76,000, with it's got to touch this line or come up to this line. Now, I mean, I'm not going to split hairs. You know, if it comes up to 75.8, my argument was this is going up to 76,000. So I believe that within a week we're going to see Bitcoin at 76,000. I really do. Now, it's very possible that we get a rejection off of this line. And if we get a rejection off that line, that still counts. So my thesis is that we're going up to this line this week. That's what I believe. Sometime between now, let's have a look, because we've broken out of this now. We're actually in a whole this whole ascending triangle. We've broken out of this. So we had the breakout, and this has become quite like, this is new. This is price discovery. We have never been here before. So what this is here, this is new. This is brand new. So here's what I'm thinking. This is what it looks like to me. Part of this pump, we see a pump up to here and we see a rejection, and then it breaks back down. If it does that, it's going to break down. Normally after a pump, we see a 50% correction. So it's even possible that we come back down here. Maybe this is all part of this retest. Maybe we come back down here and then we pump up. That would also make sense right now. So it would make sense that we come back down, we test 68,000 or 69,000, then we pump up hard, and then we have a 50% correction to come back down here again. That makes sense. I can totally see that. But I do believe that at some point before this week is out, in the next 3 days, I think we're going up to 76. So I've said within the next week, we're going up to 76. That's my belief. Because we're not long now until the halving. Like, if we look at where the halving is, that purple line is the halving, right? And I believe that by the halving, we need to at least be testing this green trend line. So we need to be, really, within the next, I don't know, from where we are now, within the next week, I would say. Within the next week, I think that's fair to say. In the next week, we need to be pushing up. We can't really spend that much time in this range. This range doesn't really do anything for us. Like, there's no, for Bitcoin, there's no reason to be in this range. I'm very aware of time, by the way, so I need to wrap this up. So I think that we're going to see, within the next week, 2 weeks, I think we're going to see the push up to the next leg. But here's the other thing as well. This is the other thing that concerns me at the moment. I need to move back into Bitcoin, because not now, by the way, not now, because I think we're going to see a dump after the halving. I think we're going to see a dump, and the reason for that, let me actually just share this with you. I'm going to end on this. We're going to go a little bit over, just tiny bit, but it's fine. And the reason for that is I want to share something with you. If I go back to CoinMarketCap, all right, let's go back to CoinMarketCap and let's look at the halving, right? So this is actually really good. Click on see more. So CoinMarketCap, events, Bitcoin halving, 35 days. All right, so we're going to go from 6.25 per block to 3.12 in rewards. But let's go back and look at the timeline. So look at the first slice. Let's look at history. Right, November the 28th, 2012, Bitcoin price $12, right? The first halving. Now, basically, when the first halving happened, nobody knew what was going to happen. Right, the impact of the halving was not priced in. All right. So what happened is after, so this was November 28th, okay? By early 2013, it kicked off its first major bull run, okay? Surging from $13 to over $1,000 by the end of the year, all right? So we're talking about, now, we can look at this, if we understand this, that was 2012, right? So let's open up TradingView. Let's go back to Bitcoin and see if we can look at the weekly. How far back does this go? This doesn't go all the way back, does it? I need some more, I need Bitcoin. Where do I find Bitcoin? Like, I don't know where we would find Bitcoin, like, going back. What exchange would it? Because this would have been like the Mt. Gox and all of those kind of exchange. Like, it won't be Binance or anything like that. So I guess, I don't know. I'd have to find it. Whatever. But anyway, my point being, this happened. It took a year, right? By the end of the year, to push up. So then let's go to the next one, right? So the next halving, we have the 2016 halving. So the 2016 halving, we have. Let me see what happened here. Bitcoin. So the 2016 halving in July 2016, but the bull run didn't start till 2017. All right. So I'm going to move this to the other screen. All right, and we're going to go to, you're saying coin market cap. Oh, what? Go to Bitcoin on there and have a look. Let's have a look. Is it going to give me the history though? Is it going to give me all the history? Maybe it will. All time. Oh, okay, cool. So, nice. So, all right, let's have a look at this, shall we? So, if we're looking here, and if I go into candles, I can't draw on this, which is annoying, but... Right, 2016, so July. So what are we on here? All right, so around here, June, July. So this was the halving here, where my cursor is. Sorry, that box is in the way, it's annoying. But yeah, that's where the halving is. And then look at how long. Can I put that into trading view? Would that work? Are you going to give me a graph? Oh. No, because let's put it onto Binance, right? Hold on, wait, what? I want to look at the weekly. Yeah, see, that only goes back to there. But anyway, regardless. All right, so there's the 2018, or 2017, right? So if we look at the run, this is actually perfect because this is what I want to see right now. If we look at this run up, this was the 2017, all right, the 2017 run up. So the halving happened in July 2016. So the halving happened a year before. A year before. So we're looking at a year after the halving before the run. Okay, so the run up from 3,000 up to 20,000. So that took 3 months. Look, 3 months. 90 days. From here to here. And that's pretty much start to finish, I think. I mean, I don't have anything before that, but I'm pretty confident that's about it. So you're talking about the halving event happens, then there was a year, and then in 3 months, it peaked. That was the peak, and then it died, all right? So, okay. So now let's have a look at the next one. Am I seeing it correct that you have 500,000 in CRO? Are you talking about, oh, you're talking about dollars? I don't know, actually. I don't know what's in there. I've got just over 3, because I get staking, so my CRO staking, so I get rewards every day. So I'm getting some rewards. So I think I've got over 3 million CRO now, which is about, let's have a look. 3.2 million CRO right now. So yeah, about 520,000 at the moment in CRO. But I'm still waiting for this because again, I'm not touching that until it hits $1. So, and also, it's locked up because £300,000 of that is in the Obsidian card that I'm waiting for. That hopefully should be arriving this week. So okay, so now we've just considered what happened in 2017. All right, let's go back to this, and now let's look at the next one. So let's talk about the next halving. I know I said I was going to do 30 minutes. I'm sorry. I apologize. We're going over time. But you know what? This is important. I don't care. This is important. We need to go through this. So, all right. So now we're looking at the 2020 halving, all right? So let's look. May 11th, 2020, okay? So let's go back and let's look. 2020, May 11th. There. This was the halving, all right? Let's draw this in. Vertical line. 2020, May 11th. There, that's the halving. All right, when was the halving before that? July 9th, 2016. Yeah, somewhere back there. All right, so that's the halving, okay? So now let's have a look at this bull run. Now, this bull run was different. See, if you look at the last one, there was one peak. Yeah, it just went up and it went down. Yeah? And if you look at the one before that, it did the same thing. It went up and it went down. This one, it went up, it come down, it went up and it come down. Now, I think that all of this, I believe, this is my opinion, I believe all of this is fake. And I'm discrediting it because I believe that this here was leveraged, degenerate gambling from other people's money. This was FTX. This was 3 Arrows Capital, this was Circle, and all of the crap and all of the shit and all of the stuff that happened. This was all because of that. I don't believe that to be real or genuine, so I'm only going to count this first pump as a single pump. All right, so with that being said, from here, all right, we're talking about May to the start here, October, same year. So from the halving event in May, we're talking about, I guess if we're going into days now, all right, let's break this out. So you can see the cycle. Now also, think about how long it took for Bitcoin to get to 1 trillion market cap, right? It took over 8 years. Over 8 years, not Bitcoin, sorry. Over 8 years for crypto to hit 1 trillion market cap. It took 4 months to hit 2 trillion. It took 8 years to hit 1 trillion. This is what I was talking about with that curve. 8 years to hit 1 trillion, 4 months to hit 2 trillion. So we can expect a much quicker adoption here. So when we consider the time it took from there to there, all right, compared to the time it's going to take from here to here. So from here to the start of the bull run, we're looking at, what is that, 150 days? What, 5 months? 5 to 6 months maybe? And then how long did it last? How long until we peaked? And again, I'm only taking the first peak. I'm not taking the second one into consideration. Or maybe the first one was actually the problem. But we're looking at there, again, about 5 months. So maybe it wasn't until here, until July. Maybe this was. Because that's over a year then. Maybe this is, maybe it would have been a year. Because a year would have put us around at this point here. And that makes sense. After the first dump, that's about a year. So maybe we would have actually been here. So maybe all of this was synthetic from here. Maybe all of this was all propped up by bullshit. Which means that we would have normally, let's say FTX weren't twats, maybe it would have looked like that. And maybe none of that would have been there. Maybe this was all a degenerate gambling, because this is where they got caught out, right? So that actually makes more sense for me. So okay, so in that case, if I discredit that because of my theory, then I'm looking at, for the bull run to kick off, about a year. Okay, so roughly, and then let's just say, all right, bull run's kicked off, and we're looking at, yeah, about 6 months to peak, and then it dies down again, right? Okay. So let's look at where we are today. We have the next halving coming up around the 20th of April. Okay, here. Perfect. Then we're going to look to go sideways for a year. But possibly for a year. Maybe not. But let's have a look. So somewhere around here. So something around April, roughly April 2025. And then we've got 6 months from here. We've got about 6 months, which takes us up to somewhere around November-ish. November next year. So I'm going to be out of the market. I'm looking to get out of the market in altcoins around the halving, because I'm fully expecting from the halving for it to dump. But here's the thing. I think that the altcoins are going to dump. Bitcoin, I don't think it's going to follow history, because it's different this time. Because previously, retail was buying and selling. Now it's institutional money with ETFs, and the ETFs can't flow into altcoins. And I don't think they're selling. So I think Bitcoin continues to go up. I think the halving creates scarcity. I think demand, I think there's a supply shock, and I think Bitcoin pumps. And I think altcoins go down and Bitcoin goes up, and I think there becomes a huge divide between the two. And I do not want to get caught out. What I want to do is I want to sit in Bitcoin and hold Bitcoin, which I hope and believe will run up to about 250,000 this cycle. But I don't think that's going to happen till about here. And so I think we're going to see that by the end of 2025. I reckon we're going to see a 250,000 Bitcoin, something like that. But I think altcoins are going to drop down. Now, people that want to buy Bitcoin but can't because it's just not available, they're going to go into altcoins. So altcoins are still going to pop. But I think altcoins are going to have their own cycle. And I think it's going to be decoupled and not in a line with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin does its thing, altcoins do their thing. So I want to sell my Bitcoin here, I want to buy my altcoins down here, and I want to ride them to Valhalla. That's the plan. So I am fully out of the altcoin market by November this year. And honestly, I would like to be out of the altcoin market around the halving. I just don't know what's going to happen, and I don't want to risk getting caught. And I genuinely believe that 80%, a high percentage of altcoins are going to zero. And possibly we even see networks like Ethereum come under pressure. Because I posted earlier and I said, like, the only people that believe in Ethereum right now are Ethereum maxis. And the ironic, funny thing about an Ethereum maxi is they're not on Ethereum. Because if you believed in Ethereum and you used it, you would not believe in it. Right? If you loved the product and you used the product and the product was trash and shit, there's only so much you can take. And people are sick and tired of Ethereum. They're not using it anymore. I even know projects that have minted on Ethereum that have not had success because people just don't want to pay the gas. They just don't want to. And so you're seeing projects now that they're opting to mint on Solana rather than Ethereum or even Polygon. And so I think that it's really interesting when we see what happens here. The whole concept around Ethereum, for me personally, is kind of like, I believe that it kind of turns into MySpace. Right, and where's MySpace today? Right, at the time, everyone used it. It was amazing. Being able to customize and personalize your profile and your background and make it how you wanted it. And everyone loved MySpace and it was amazing. And everybody was friends with Tom. But where is it today? Nobody talks about it. No one remembers it, right? Facebook, Twitter, all of that good stuff. So I just don't feel like Ethereum to me is a sensible investment right now. Maybe it becomes like a B2B chain rather than a B2C. I don't know. But Ethereum and Matic are just not in my bags. I don't need to hold them. And I'm not hating on them. I really want them to survive. And maybe they will. Right? We'll see what happens with a new update that's coming out and stuff, and who knows. But then wasn't gas promised to be fixed with the last update? And the one before that? Like, I don't know. Like anyway, I OG chain, great, yep, love it, respect it, not married to it. My takeaway is from Steve is to take profits. Yeah, you have to. Taking profits is key. You have to take money off the table. And it's the hardest thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do. And meme coins will teach you that. Do you know what? If you want to learn to take profits, play with meme coins. Play with meme coins because they will teach you. They will teach you to take profits. They will force you because you'll get wrecked. And there's only so many times you get wrecked before you start realizing you have to take profits. So I actually think meme coins can teach you a valuable lesson. I feel okay with a $1 fee if the security decentralization relay on ETH, but apparently in the next update it's retiring that component. I haven't looked into it, so I'm so disconnected to Ethereum at the moment. I need to spend some time and go through it, and I will, but for me, I'm all about human psychology. I look at what people do, and human beings, we love convenience. We value convenience over security. Fact. We value convenience over security. We would rather something be easy than something be safe. And if you don't believe me, then answer me this question. Do you know every line of code for every application on your mobile phone? Do you know what the developers, or do you even know who the developers of half of the apps are? Do you know what they believe in? Do you know how they use your data? No. You just trust them blindly because you are more interested in downloading the app than doing your research to learn about exactly what that app does and how it does it. You just trust. You trust blindly, and we all do it. We all do it. And so it's only after your security has been compromised that you care about it. I apologize for the dog barking. You only care about your security after it's been compromised. And that's a fact. And so I think it's important to understand that people care about convenience. And so Ethereum, respectfully, is not convenient. It's just not convenient. And so yeah, I definitely don't see it at the moment. Maybe it does in the future, but I've been on Solana for a while now. I'm not hating on Ethereum. I love Solana. I love Ethereum. I just don't like Ethereum right now because of the gas and it's too clunky. And so Solana's just much easier. Phantom Wallet on Solana is just, it's so clean and it's so easy. And once you've done it, you kind of never want to go back. Anyway, with that being said, let me just answer a couple more questions. Just going to read through these. I'm muting myself between talking because I don't want my dogs to bark. I apologise. In fact, let me just bring them up. You can. My boy's just sitting there upside down. He's like, stroke me. Hold on, I'll bring him up. Look at this. Hold on. Look at this. Ready? Hello. He's just laying in his bed, bless him. Come here, you. Right. So this is one dog. For those of you that are interested, this is Princess Penelope Lee. Hi. This is Lord Benedict Cumberland III. Didn't you? He was a bit tired. There we go. All right. I need to, they're barking at me because it's time for them to go for a walk. So we're going to go out and I'm going to head off. But I just want to read the comments just before we head out. Yeah. Bless them. All right, guys. Hopefully it's been useful. We're going to come back and do this again tomorrow. I don't think anything's changed at the moment. When I look at where we currently are and what's going on, I mean, yeah. I think we're in exactly the same place. I will again buy that if ETH doesn't do what I said it's going to do. Let me just have a quick look. All right, so getting rid of all this noise. Let's come back onto the. We can look at the 4-hour chart. I don't think we need to look at the 1 hour. I know this looks a bit messy, but 70k. Oh, okay, so we've had a bit of a dump off. That's fine. I actually just said that, didn't I? Did I not just say? Oh, look, it's just happened in the last 15 minutes. It's happening right now, actually. That's cool. So I don't think that's a bad thing. I think I did say that actually during this video. I said, look, I think we could bounce off this before we head up. And the reason I think that is because if you make a pump, you normally have a 50% correction. It's absolutely normal to have a 50% correction after a pump. And this seems to be a key line right here. In fact, I'm pretty confident we can put a new horizontal trend line somewhere around here. I think that's a pretty good indication to some stuff that's been happening at the moment. I guess we could put another one in as well, maybe a top, just a temporary one. Obviously, we'll move these later. We just want them as solid lines. All right, so there seems to be around here, there seems to be something. Just get rid of that one. There seems to be something around here. Yep. So I'm just looking at where it touches. So what I'm really interested in when I draw these lines is I'm looking at how many points it touches. So it kind of touches here, it touches here, it touches here, it comes back and touches it again here. I mean, almost there, it touches it here. So the more points, the more candles that touch a line, the more relevant that trend line is. So what I'm really interested here is like this channel that we're kind of sitting in at the moment. So it looks like what we've done is we've pumped up. We kind of lost a bit of momentum here. It looks like we're coming back down. So we're probably going to bounce off of 69. So I wouldn't be surprised. We're at 70 now. I wouldn't be surprised if this dump brings us down to 69. And it's happening in real time. We're kind of watching it happen right now, which is cool. So it makes sense to me that we'll come down to 69. Now, if we do that, what we might see a fake out. A fake out is where we see a big sell and everyone freaks out. And then all of the longs, because everyone's probably long at the moment, so this would be a perfect opportunity to wreck everyone who's long and trigger all of those stop losses. Because anyone that's got a stop loss has probably got their stop loss somewhere around 58.5. 58.5 or 68.4. 68.4 is, sorry, not 58, 68.4 is probably where most people have put their stop losses, I imagine. I'm watching my stream, yeah? I don't think I'm that big. So it would make sense to have this dump down here, and then it would make sense to have a wick, a candle that pops down to trigger the stop losses, and then off we go. That is just, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. It makes absolute sense to flush out the liquidity. It makes sense to short on the longs. And look, you can see it happening right now. You can see the sell-off happening as we speak. Now, the entire market's going to dump because of this. And you have to expect 30% corrections. They happen. Now, this is only a 5% correction. It's not even a big correction. It's just 5%. But look at what it's doing to the market. The entire market just freaks out and shits itself. And you see it happening in real time. And the funny thing about this is that you can get so fixated on watching this. Like, my portfolio's gone from 10 grand up today. It was 10 grand up. If I refresh it right now, it's probably like 10 grand down. All right. From 10 grand up to 1.5 grand down. And so you can't look at it. You have to just ignore it. You have to switch off. You have to lock in. This is what I'm doing. This is my plan. And go from there. So look, we've had this. Now we've just seen a bit of buy pressure here. So we've had the sell pressure, the buy pressure to buy it back. It could be that is it, or maybe we keep coming down. We're only on a 15-minute candle, so it's very hard to tell at the moment. But we're seeing a lot of volatility. We're seeing a lot of movement, and so this is fine. This is like there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to stress about. We're not in any risk. We know this is happening. We know what's coming, so we just chill. We are sitting in our lane, moisturized, unbothered, having fun. And I think this is the key at the moment, is to just bear that in mind. So if this drops down to this line and then pumps up to here, we expect to see a 50% correction, which would bring us back down to this line. And this line seems to be quite relevant. So it's a thesis and a narrative that makes sense to play out. Now, obviously, what we could see is something totally different. What we could see is it could pump up and it could do this instead. So it could, like, when it pumps, one of three things is going to happen. I can give you this with absolute certainty. 100% confidence. I would bet my entire life on this. It's either going to go up, it's going to go down, or it's going to go sideways. I know, you're blown away. Revolutionary. I mean, that's just it, right? We just don't know which one it's going to do. So we have to look for the triggers. Right, so if it breaks through, then there's a chance that it's gonna do a Kobo and it's gonna carry on. Possible. If it hits it and bounces off of it and we get rejected, then we'll have to try again. So we're either going to trade in this channel, and by the way, this is a nice channel. If we sit in this channel, this is 5% on Bitcoin. If this is 5% in Bitcoin, you can expect 10 to 15% on Ethereum. I'm telling you now, I will be trading this. If we get rejected off of this, I'm selling, and then I'm buying back here, and I'm selling, and I'm buying back here. And thank you very much, I'll take my extra 50%. And that's exactly what I'm looking, and that's what I'm hoping for right now. Because whilst everyone else is sitting there going, it's going sideways, I'm happily just taking an extra 5-10% here and there. So that's something else that I'll look to do. Now, obviously I'm not going to do it in my whole portfolio. I've got an account put aside just for that. But right now, I think that it's absolutely fine to come down to 69,000, to retest this support, and then to head off. Because we haven't really retested it since we pushed through it. I mean, we tested it here, we tested it here, we broke through it, we broke back down, and we smashed up. But I consider this kind of feels like the Kobo. Yeah. I'm still very, very happy with where we are and what's going on at the moment. I mean, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but overall, I'm no worries at all. We might see like a 10, 20, maybe in a 30% pullback, like in the altcoins, but overall, everything's pretty solid. And yeah, happy days. So I'll answer the questions that you've got. I'd love to learn how to surf the web like Steve. I spend far too long on here. I'm too noob and this is too complex for me. You start one step at a time. One step at a time. So what I said yesterday in my video is what you need to do is you need to find a way to generate cash flow. Cash flow is king. The whole purpose of having this money is to be able to buy into other things that allow you to generate yield and cash flow. And then what you want to do with that is consider one bill. What are your expenditures each month? You know, you've got your internet connection, your phone bill, your car, your rent, your electric, gas, food, clothes, whatever. Get a Google sheet and write down all of your expenses. And actually, I'll go through this tomorrow. I'm going to give you a sheet tomorrow that you can use to map out your life, your expenses. Once you know what your expenses are, take something like a mobile phone contract, right? So a mobile phone contract in the UK is about £10 per month. So £10 a month, right? That's a pretty low expense. You could also argue something like Spotify or Netflix. Take any of those. So what you want to do is you want to use money, and you need that money to generate yield. And the profits that money generates should pay for your subscription to Netflix or Spotify, or should pay for your mobile phone. And you just focus on that one thing. What is one, and it can be whatever you want. What is one thing that you can focus on? And then automate that. So that now that investment pays that bill. And then work on the next one. Get another investment. Get another bill. And eventually, if you do it step by step, it might take a couple of years. It might take time. But what you'll find is you'll get to a stage where you're financially free. And what I mean by that, you no longer have to go to work to earn money, to trade your time, to pay for your life. So the best thing to do is if you're living a lifestyle at the moment that's a bit too extravagant, dial it down a bit. Be frugal. Make sure you automate everything. And then you can start to compound and build and grow. And that's where the real wealth will come from. I promise you. I just went out and bought a new car. I didn't go out and buy a Lambo. I could. I've got the money to go out and buy a Lambo. I could go out and buy a Bentley or a Lambo, or I could spend a couple of $100,000 on a nice car. But why? Why would I do that? It makes no sense. What? To show off? For Twitter? To get some clout? I don't give a shit. I spend $30,000 on a family car that's going to last me for the next 10 years. You know, I live in a humble house. I'm respectful. I don't wear designer clothes. I'm not sitting on my Lambo with my Gucci threatening to fight the world. Like, I don't need any of that shit. I don't need to prove to anyone. I don't even need to do this for you guys. The only reason I'm doing this for you is because I got wrecked in the last market, and I do not want you to get wrecked in this one. Right? I could sit there very quietly playing my games with my family and not stream. I don't need the clout. I don't need the ego. I don't need the money. I'm not doing this for any of those reasons. I do this because I genuinely fucking care. Like, I don't want you to get wrecked. Have a gamble, have a flutter, have a laugh, do whatever you want. But I'm just hoping that I can teach you some skills that you can use to protect yourself, whether it's security, risk management, whatever it might be. I just don't want you to get wrecked, right? And it's going to happen. I'm sorry to say it. We're all of us are going to get wrecked. Even me, I'm going to get wrecked. I know I am. Something's going to go wrong. It will. The key is that when it happens, it doesn't destroy you. It hurts and you learn by it, but you recover. And the trick to this game, and it is a game, is to maximize your wins and to minimize your losses. And that is all we're trying to do here. So I'm just hoping that what I'm showing you gives you some context. Take whatever your theory, your thesis, your beliefs, take whatever you think. You know, don't just take what I'm saying. I'm not trying to give you the answer. What I'm really trying to give you here are the tools so that you can find the answers for yourselves. Because I'm not always going to be around. And there's a lot of people out there that just want your money and don't give a shit about you. And so what I want is, like, I can give you a fish or I can teach you to fish, right? It's that analogy. So stop the DCA on my ETH. Oh, by the way, with DCA, dollar cost averaging, it works both ways. So many people think about dollar cost averaging to buy the dip, but you can also dollar cost average out. So you can dollar cost average profits. Take 10%, then take another 10%. If you don't want to get out or you don't know when to get out, just DCA in and DCA out. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Do I trade in Solana meme coins too? Absolutely. Love it. I'm a complete degenerate, but responsibly. So, all right, let's just read through these and I need to head off. It's been an hour. I know I've gone over. I'm so sorry. This was a great 30 minutes. All right, let's have a look. Don't you think they plan some big event to make Layer 2 adopted? Yeah, I think Ethereum are going to do some stuff. They will. They'll have to, right? They've got so much competition now. They have to survive. So Ethereum have to. But I think they've got comfortable. I think they're big and clunky. And I think there's just... It's like anything, right? It's like you build a big tanker and it's really big and tanky, but it's not agile. And then what happens is somebody looks at it and goes, I like the way they designed that, but if I did this and this, I could make it better. And that's all these networks are doing. They're looking at Ethereum and they're just making it better. And it's really, really hard to rebuild something. Like, it's really hard to build a plane when it's in the air. So a lot of these new networks that are coming out, there's a lot of networks that, like Scale, for example, looks like a great network, what they're building. There's incredible networks now. I'm telling you, they've not even been started yet. You never know what's going to come out. All right, so I feel okay. $1. Yep, read that one. Agreed. Watch people. You're not too similar to Alice Becker. I think that's a compliment. But he says watch people and their habits and not the tech and the projects. Yeah, 100% agree. I like Alex. He's a good guy. I know Alex from before crypto, when he was in Hyros and internet marketing, and he's a good guy. He is. I mean, he's definitely got his beliefs and he's got his thing, and good luck to him. And sometimes I think he's a bit detached from reality, but you know, he's doing very well for himself, and fair play to him. And he's got a level head on him. He's not a bad guy. There's two sides to Alex, though, right? There's a side that you see publicly, and then there'll be the side that, you know, him, who he really is. And not many people will get to see that. I don't know that. I'm not friends with him. I just know of him and have connected before crypto. But he's far too busy for me. All right, let me read this. Okay, certain... before the ball was back, airdrop flourishing. Didn't explore Layer 2 bridge because it was expensive. Yeah, bridging is just... And also, bridging is just one of the biggest causes of hacks and scams and things. So it's really difficult. I faded Solana because of FTX. Seems to have a weird background. But then, yes. And Woody, I think this is one of the things, right, is that there's always going to be a narrative for and against. Oh, this is great because of this, and this is bad because of that. Most of the people who have an opinion, that's all it is, just an opinion, right? And even a broken clock is right twice a day. So a lot of the influencers that are talking about, and even me, I've got my opinions. I've got my beliefs. I believe Ethereum, and I've told you this. This is what I think is going to happen to Ethereum. I might be wrong. There's no guarantee I'm right. And until something comes to change my mind, that's my belief. But that doesn't mean my belief is right. I also thought that Solana was too centralized and that, you know, problems with FTX, and I had those concerns as well. And I still do have concerns about things. I'm very aware of that anything can go wrong at any moment. But also what I've learned is that you can do so much research into something and it still fails. I believed that Luna was going to be an incredible chain, and I did a lot of research into Luna, and I really thought it had potential. I loved what they were doing. They actually championed the airdrops originally. You know, I was getting incredible airdrops through that platform, and everything they were building, they were so ahead of their time. They were doing such great things. I didn't see the claps coming. Now, thankfully, I took profits. I lost a lot of money with Luna, but I did take profits. And so it's just making sure that you consistently do the things you say you're going to do. It's good practice. It's just continuously practicing the things so that they become second nature. I don't know so much, but can't help think the Solana founder didn't know what was happening. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying ETH's a bad thing. You know, it'd be so easy for people to come back in 6 months and go, remember that twat Woody that said to fade ETH, and now look at ETH, it's at 15 grand or whatever. Like, I'm not saying ETH won't have a run. I just don't know if ETH will be used because it doesn't feel, at the moment, it just doesn't feel like it's easy to use. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it. We're going to head off. I'm just looking through to see if there's any other comments. Being here 30 minutes makes me think I need Steve as a life coach. No, that's definitely not my market, but I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Steve, for your time. Hopefully we'll remember it and pay it forward the same way. Look, this is it. If you bring anybody into the crypto space, the only thing I ask is if you bring anybody into the crypto space, educate them. Help them, educate them, teach them. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to get hurt. It's going to happen. But maybe you can make it a little less painful for them, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, I lost 20 grand yesterday on meme coins. You know, I might have made some money, but I left a lot on the table. There was and a lot of the coins and stuff that I got involved in, they went to zero. I got wrecked. I think the gaming networks are going to be good as well. I think IMX, although I don't like IMX at the moment because you've got a bridge across from ETH and it's crap. So Ronan's okay, I guess. It's definitely got potential, but I don't know. I just feel like Ronan's a bit of a bubble. I'm not. I really want to believe in Ronan, but I'm scared of Ronan at the moment because I think that the team at Sky Mavis have educated an extraction mindset within the community, and I think they're incredible people, but I think they're being programmed to almost, I don't know, it almost feels like they're just waiting to take profits, and I think they'll snatch the life out of a project the second it turns. Like Axie, look at what happened to Axie when Axie fell off the top. Poof, everyone just went. And I remember, like, I don't know if any of you remember, if you were involved in Axie at the end of 2021, it was toxic. Like, it was horrible. Like, the community turned, and they turned hard. And the only thing that stopped them is Peg Axie, because they all flew from Axie to Peg Axie. And it was like watching just this swarm of insects that were just going from project to project, just extracting. And that's what scares me about Ronan. That's my fear. But then that's all of crypto at the moment. I love the Philippines. I love the Axie community. I love the Ronan community. I've nothing against them. It's a fear. And I'm just articulating it. Not to hate, not to be a twat, but just because when a project launches, if the first thing that a guild or a scholar does is extract out of that game the moment it launches, it has no chance of survival. And it's on a game. It's definitely on a game to be able to vest effectively. Yeah, the community is a bit thirsty. Do you know what? Well said. Well said. You have articulated that much better than I can. I called them a cult. They're not, but you've articulated it much better than I could. They're very thirsty. And fucking rightly so. Because if you live in a country where you have poor economic opportunities and you see an opportunity, you should absolutely go for it. I do not begrudge what they are doing at all. In fact, if I was them, I would do exactly the same thing. I can't be the one to pick up the ticket. Right? I can't be the one to pay for that. It's okay when you think it's coming from like VC funding or when you think it's coming from institutions, but when it's coming from just I'm not a whale. I'm just an average person at the end of the day. I've made some good trades, but I got absolutely wrecked in that last market. You have to remember that my portfolio went from $1 million down to at one point $20,000, right? I haven't told anyone this. I always say 5 figures, but my portfolio went from 970,000 to 20,000. What you're looking at on that screen, that's what happened. I got wrecked, and I've had to rebuild it. So I worked with Sunflower Land. I worked with Every Finance. I had 3 or 4 different clients that were paying me retainers. I did security contracts. I helped advise projects. And I never, ever, ever took an allocation in any project. I never took their tokens. They all paid me. And so I was getting paid cash, and I took that cash and I invested it back into crypto. And then I just bought. I lived on a frugal life. Me and my partner, we didn't go out. We didn't enjoy ourselves. We didn't live for the last 2 years. We haven't been out swanning it. We haven't been on holiday. I haven't been on holiday since before COVID. I don't live this flashy lifestyle. Everything that I earn, everything I get from my business, from everything, we pay the rent and then I just reinvest it. I am not some multi-millionaire. Like everyone sort of had this perception of me going, oh yeah, it's all right for you, you're a wow. No, I struggle like everybody else. I'm just getting to a point where I'm getting back. But I've still got to pay a lot of tax. I've still got other costs and things to consider. Like, what you're seeing in my account, that doesn't mean I can't just cash it out and be like, that's my money. No, I've also got investors that I've got to consider, and people that trusted me in the last cycle that got wrecked. People that bought into Axie. Now, I don't have to pay them back. I don't have to. There's no obligation for me to pay them back. They took a risk. But I can't, in good faith, know that I'm successful and that I've made it if I gave people advice or told people something I believed in, that they followed me and they got wrecked, and then I went on to do well for myself. No, I have to look after those people. So I'm taking money out of my own pocket to pay back these investors. Even though I don't need to do it, I'm doing it because it's more of a karma, I guess, or a not moral compass. I just don't want to be successful knowing that there are people out there that are not, especially when they relied on me. And so, you know, I'm not in this for the ego. I'm not in this for the clout. I'm not sharing my balance with you to show off or to impress you. I'm trying to impress upon you how you can kind of leverage things and use things, and hopefully some people can see what I'm doing and maybe even follow along and do it for themselves. That's the plan. Steve, man, echoes of you in my life. Skimped and lived frugally, put it all in fiat wages during the bear prepping. Yeah, I mean, I was buying CRO last year. August, October, September, October, November. I was buying CRO when CRO was in the gutter, when no one else would touch it. The only reason I've got so much CRO right now is because of where I bought it. And look, it's had a little dump off as well. I like this. I like this dump off. This is a key line right here. So this is a very key line. Look at that. Look how important this line is. Look at this here. 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 And here. And here. And here. This is a vital line. Vital line. We'll draw that one on there. This is all I do. I just build a picture over time. I just build a picture. And I just keep building a picture and building a picture and building a picture, and then I make decisions based on those pictures. And look, you can see on this chart, look, my dad got in back in July in 2021. He got in there. That's where my dad got in, at 10 cents. I got in here. Look, there you go. $175,000, 3 million CRO. I got in about 5 cents. And if you look, it wasn't that long ago. We'll go back to the daily. You're talking about me accumulating any opportunity I could around here. And also a bit around here. And probably some there as well. I don't recall exactly where I bought, but anyway. That's what I did. I pretty much bought all of that. You got a 33 cent for the card, average it down to 0. Yeah. I mean, and that's fine, because it will go back up again. Like, I do not have to me, what Cronus is building right now, Cronus is building a good network. Because don't forget, it's not just an app. There's the CRO app, there's also the Cronus network. You've got the Cronus exchange. So you've got the Cronus network, you've got the Cronus exchange, you've got the Crypto.com app. It's all part of the same family. And so when you consider what they're doing with branding, just branding alone, and we talked about this yesterday, Crypto.com are very well positioned. 30 billion market cap. That's not unachieved. 30 billion is not hard to achieve. And that just means it needs to get to $1. If it gets to $1, it's a 30 billion market cap. CRO belongs in the top 10. I said about this yesterday. I just think this is a very easy buy right now. Very easy buy. I'd love to see another step. I really want to see another step down. What I want right now would be ideally down to 11 cents. Like, if we can break this line and break down to 11 cents, that would be perfect. That'd be lovely. And in fact, look, we've had this pump recently. If we had a 50% correction from this, we're looking at somewhere around 12 cents anyway. It kind of makes sense to drop back down. Be nice, because then I can buy more. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for today. I think we've covered everything we need to cover. We'll keep an eye on things. We'll see how it goes. We'll be back again tomorrow. I will work on making these shorter. I think I did really well. Look, we're just coming up to the 30-minute mark if we ignore the first hour. I'm sorry. I tried to keep these. Maybe I should just make these an hour. Maybe I should just say it's going to be an hour, because 30 minutes is. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I think we'd just make them an hour. 30 minutes was the intention was there, the concept, the plan was there, but yeah. I talk far too much. All right, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, I'm going to go. Have an amazing day. Hopefully it's been good, and we'll keep it going. All right. Regardless, market's going up, market's going down. I'll keep it going. I'll let you know what we're doing. I'll give you my thoughts and feedback. If you're into Web3 gaming at the moment, again, I talked about this yesterday. There are free Web3 gaming tokens that I'm looking at. LRDS, Boom, and there's a few others, but LRDS I think has good potential. I think Boom has good potential. You can look into those. I think BR1 is going to have a token come out that could be quite good to look into. I think BR1's got good potential. I'm just thinking about tokens that haven't quite launched yet that you can get into at an early stage. So you can go and buy Boom right now, definitely. Get it on the Polygon network. You need USDC.E. You can go to boomland.io to find out about that on the token sale page. And you can't get LRDS yet. You have to download the Blocklords game and play it. And you have to get their airdrop in game. It's the only way to get that token. But I think LRDS could launch at like $10. Yeah, I'll type them in here for you. So LRDS, which is Blocklords, and Boom, which is Boomland. Those are the two that I recommend. There's a few others as well, but they're definitely ones to look into. And also, I like the concept of BR1, which is Bravo Ready. There's no token for it right now. But if you play the game every single day and you get 1 kill a day, they're going to do an airdrop. Do you think Illuvium will shine this cycle? Or is it becoming our Star Citizen? I think Illuvium's... I think Teamfight Tactics did a very good job of breaking into auto battlers, auto chess. But I don't think it ever went mainstream. And I don't know if the genre will go mainstream. So I don't know, because Illuvium I think is an open world, but also as an auto battler... I think they understand and they need to blend the two games together. They're definitely ambitious. I think it's going to be an incredible game. I think it looks amazing. I think it really has the potential. I think Star Atlas and Illuvium both have the potential to be AAA games. I kind of really like both of them. But I'll be honest, I don't have the time to... I'll play it and I'll have some fun with it. But when I look at a typical game, a life cycle of a typical game is 2 to 4 weeks. There are a handful of games that are 10-year games. And so for me, I don't see Illuvium as something I'm going to play every day for the next 2 to 3 years. I don't want to get trapped into buying NFTs and then farming yield by playing a game. I don't want to get trapped into that cycle. I would much rather just buy Illuvium as a token and hold it and not touch the game. Because I just don't have time. I really look show. Oh, it looks great. Yeah, but so empty. It'll come. It'll come. Still early. It'll come. Right, we're off. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, let's go. All right. What game am I playing for the airdrop? Blocklords. It's like my mum when she says bye. She's like, bye, 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 bye. I'm like, just fucking go. On that note, goodbye.